Episode 421 of Dr. Jordan B. Peterson's YouTube podcast presents an in-person sit-down with Derek, the progenitor of the More Plates, More Dates YouTube channel, an enterprise as intriguing in title as it is in content, and co-founder of Marek Health, a preventative medicine company. This dialogue, ostensibly rich in the potential for enlightenment on the subjects of fitness, self-improvement, and the navigational beacons for life's ventures, instead pirouettes around the periphery of profundity without ever daring to plunge into its depths. The discourse unfurls a tapestry that intertwines the threads of physical betterment and the seductive allure of shaping one's destiny through sheer force of will and the alchemy of testosterone. It dances with a somewhat disconcerting grace around the pillars of the modern manosphere, a term that, within the echo chambers of its own making, might conjure visions of Herculean figures sculpting their futures with the same fervor with which they sculpt their bodies. Yet for all its vaunted celebration of mentorship and self-actualization, the conversation skirts dangerously close to the lionization of a monolithic form of masculinity, predicated on the assumption that the highest echelons of personal development are invariably reached through the crucible of the gym and the approbation of the opposite sex. This narrative, while undeniably compelling in its simplicity and its appeal to the primordial instincts to compete, conquer, and attract, is also reductive to the point of myopia. It presupposes a singular path to fulfillment and success, measured in the currency of physical prowess and the ability to command the attention, and indeed the admiration, of women. This is a dangerous oversimplification, one that negates the rich tapestry of human experience and the multitude of paths that lead to a life well lived. Moreover, the elevation of Derek, a self-taught aficionado of the fitness domain, to the status of a sage in matters of health and well-being, is emblematic of a wider malaise in our cultural discourse, the democratization of expertise. This phenomenon, wherein the boundaries between expert and enthusiast blur, is not without its merits. However, without the rigors of critical scrutiny, it risks propagating a gospel of half-truths and unexamined assertions. The absence of a probing interrogation into the validity and veracity of the claims made, particularly those pertaining to health and fitness, is precisely the sort of intellectual complacency that would have roused the ire of a more discerning observer. The conversation's recurring motif, the clarion call to adventure and the pursuit of one's calling, though poetically rendered, belies a reductionist worldview. It posits life as a hero's journey, a series of hurdles to be vaulted, dragons to be slain, with the ultimate prize being a form of self-realization accessible only through the trials of physical and mental fortitude. This narrative, seductive though it may be, is a gross oversimplification of the human condition, which is defined not by the overcoming of obstacles in isolation, but by the complex interplay of societal, economic, and existential forces. In their earnest quest to chart a course through the murky waters of modern manhood, Peterson and Derek inadvertently construct a lighthouse that guides not to safe harbor, but to the Scylla and Charybdis of oversimplification and unchallenged assumptions. It is a conversation that, for all its surface-level engagement with the themes of self-improvement and success, fails to acknowledge the underlying currents of privilege, the diversity of human experience, and the multifarious nature of fulfillment. One cannot help but long for a counterpoint, a voice that would challenge the presuppositions, that would demand a more nuanced exploration of what it means to lead a life of significance, a voice that would not shy away from the complexities and contradictions inherent in the pursuit of health, happiness, and the ever-elusive state of being that we might, however cautiously, term wellness. In sum, episode 421, while a masterclass in the art of conversation, leaves the critical observer yearning for more, for a deeper dive into the quagmire of contemporary masculinity, for a more robust challenge to the echo chamber of the fitness and self-improvement sphere, and for a broader, more inclusive discourse on the myriad ways in which one might navigate the odyssey of life.